Hello and welcome to episode 27 of our Timberborn Update 7 Folktails Hard Mode playthrough here in Cycle 37 Day 2, right in the middle of a temperate season, temperate cycle, whatever you want to call it. Last time we had a fun time putting some tunnel-related fun into our map, including a super secret frog statue shower area, and a badwater diversion canal, which is currently not really doing everything that it's supposed to be doing. We do need to put in a couple of levees on top of this to fix that problem. But the bad water, as it goes out of this part of the map, will just flow harmlessly out this way. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import an idea from the comments that you guys had, which was to remove these two platforms and instead to create a little bit of realism. Replace them with ladders with the rungs facing outside, which would create kind of like a barred or like grates on something. I think that was a really cool idea, so I wanted to do that. And then over here as well, where we're going to have a, I guess you can call a good water discharge. We're going to do the same thing, but we can go ahead and very simply, very easily just pop that in here like so. And let these guys do what they're going to do and just put that in so stuff can flow out. But on that note, there's a bunch of other stuff that I would like to get to today with regard specifically to the walls, and we've got a lot to discuss based on your feedback, your ideas, and what I would like to do as this playthrough continues on. It is episode 27. These series usually last between 30 and 35, but I think if we can keep this one going a little while longer. You guys seem to be really enjoying it, and I did say that I wanted to kind of reclaim this whole castle area here, and that's one of those things that's just going to take time, so we know for sure that we can utilize our time effectively and make something pretty cool along the way. So, let's go ahead and talk about the different ideas that some of you have proposed. We talked last time a little bit about maybe putting in bad water diversion inside of the wall. Just have this be hollow with some canals. But then there was another suggestion that I really liked. That was to put these zip lines around the map inside the walls as well. So for that to be a thing, we'd have to kind of standardize the height of the walls and kind of orient things carefully. Because right now we do have these, can't click on them, large windmills here, which based on the height of this thing here, if we were to make this, I guess, the top of the wall, then we could fit a zip line through this little gap here and then just have it continue going on this way all the way around. And looking at this, we determined a couple episodes ago that this right here is about that same height. It should be exactly the same height. And I think that is going to be a pretty good goal. So, before we really build the wall, we are going to have to decide exactly where the bad water is going to go. And conveniently, we have this guy right here able to be peeled back with the help of our layer tool. And this is one of the last remaining bad water sources we haven't done anything with. And it's kind of in a convenient spot toward the side of the map. If I take a look, I guess I could just use my X button here. You see right here we have one tile. I can't see here, but you compare the width, and I believe that this should be 5 tiles here to the right of this cavern. And if we come up to the very top, we can pull out X again, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which, because of the positioning of this, does mean that this would be butted right up against this part of the wall here. But it would be on this side of it, so that would work. And if we were to bring this up this way, all we'd have to do is have an exit coming out here and divert it to wherever we'd like. We actually could divert it through this center bit here, through these water wheels and out to provide a little bit more power this way. I don't think that's a bad idea. Make good use of this and this. Plus, we do have these natural, normal, whatever you want to call them things here, source blocks, that are going to be clean most of the time, but also bad, which would mean that we could have an opportunity to create a diversion inside the rock here. And then I believe there's a few others as well, like way up here. Obviously, I wouldn't route it all the way around to go that way, but this would be pretty easy to get off the side of the map. Again, taking a look with our X tool here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. very conveniently located to where this would still be inside of our wall. And I'm not sure if there's anything else that I've missed source-wise. I want to say no. But, you know, this is a very, very complicated, dense map. And it is entirely possible that I have made mistakes. Because we all can make mistakes. We're all human. Some of us make more mistakes than others. But, you know, that's kind of just how it goes. So we will kind of need to be diligent here. And, of course, as we continue going around, we will, I'm sure, uncover anything else that we've left. But, you know, keeping our progress going on telling you what I'm going to be doing here, I was informed very usefully that these crenellations are not going to be present on the inside of normal castle walls, because the purpose of these is to be defensive structures for archers in medieval times, firing upon assailants outside of the castle. And on the inside, you know, you wouldn't need that, because then if people, you know, storm your castle and they get up on the battlements, then they can shoot at you from the top of your own castle while you're inside. That's bad form. we don't want that. So I think what I will do is I will keep these wooden fences and stuff on the outside, but on the inside, we have the opportunity to do some other kind of decoration thing here, which I guess we can figure out at that point in time. But we do have different things like these roofing tiles. Would not be hard at all to put in, obviously not on top of this fence thing, it doesn't work, but it can go directly on top of dirt. I do remember somebody asking that, and that looks pretty neat. Looks pretty nice, and I think we could enjoy putting that in. But there's still plenty of other stuff to take care of as we continue actually playing the game, and not just, you know, making stuff that looks cool. While that is important, you know, there is still a goal in place. And I kind of forgot that this was going to need to be replaced as well. Fortunately, it doesn't seem that this has gotten deep enough for this to be a problem yet, but it will soon. So let's go ahead while we are here and just put in sluice gates down at the bottom. They're not going to be able to reach this, so I'll just put one. But the reason we took this out is because we had nasty water come in this way, and, you know, that was unfortunate because of this bad water dome here. But I do want to actually have this completely ready to go for emergency use in the future, should that arise. And this will just be automatically closed. If we need to drain this, then, you know, we can blast that bit out as well. But that's just, you know, a little bit of future-proofing as we continue going about our lives here, so we don't have to worry about that when we get into the future. I know it's dark, so it's not really the best time to be explaining this, but you guys had a lot of opinions about the whole fiasco with our Badwater rig and the natural overhangs being replaced with these blocks. So yes, that did break the Badwater rigs. We did have a flood as a result, but I don't want to go to dev mode to, you know, quote-unquote fix that, because, you know, it still happened in the game, and I don't really want to cheat, even if you guys don't think it's cheating. I wouldn't count that as honest play, because the game presented me with a problem and I wasn't able to solve it correctly. So, what we can do, though, is, thanks to you guys doing some research here, what we can do is we can come up on top, and we can get rid of the very centerpiece, which would be this tile right here. And we can just dynamite that out, and that will allow the central part of this Badwater rig to poke up through that, and then we can put this back on there. Unfortunately, we have to wait for a drought to do that, and I don't know when the next time we're going to have a drought will be. So we'll put that one on the back burner, but I am planning on doing that, and we can restore, like I said, the Badwater rig and then the zipline station there. For now, we have a different problem, which is how are we going to get Badwater to do everything else when, well, everything else has kind of made it impossible for us to have anything. We've built over the top of all of this mess, and we don't have any way of accessing stuff. So we need to solve that problem, and I think, unfortunately, the only way for that to happen is for us to remove some of these tanks here, or we have to have the Badwater pumping occur down on this end. And since we have a bad tide coming, we are going to have a lot of Badwater coming out here. And it's probably, honestly the easiest way for us to solve that problem. Just keep in mind that the Folktails can only go down 2 tiles for their bad water pumps, so we will need to create a dedicated area here for that pumping to occur. So what will make sense is for us to come in and put in bad water pumps. I'll just go ahead and do 3 straight the way across like this. It's a good start. You know, it's not perfect, but it will allow us to get back going again, get that hooked up, and we of course can expand if we so choose. It is not necessarily super close to that storage, but at this point we have so many extra bots, I really don't think it's going to be a problem. All we'll have to do is just put in another hauling post or 2, and that'll take care of most of these issues. And then we also have, I think, yeah, we got 41 jobs we can kind of turn into other stuff. So I'm going to turn the bad water pumps into bot jobs. And then we can take a look here. Fluid dumps, I'm not really worried about those. Food production via the grills is probably a good opportunity, but we're also, you know, we're maxed out on food, so that's not really a super pressing issue. Honestly, probably none of this is super pressing. Everything seems to be running pretty nicely. Wood workshops, though, those are injury-generating buildings, so let's go ahead and put those back over to bots. And then I don't think there's any other industrial things that we can pop over. Everything else is, looks like it's already good to go. Yeah, we've done pretty well with this, getting the really dangerous jobs moved over immediately. So for the time being, I think we are okay to just have this the way that we do. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in just 2 hauling posts right here, set to bots, because you probably can't ever have too many of those. And to help these guys out, I will put in a large tank for bad water storage here, set to supply. And I guess this one could be set to obtain. That should be pretty simple. This does not need to be... Oh, that's extract. That's fine. Yeah, so they can get to work on that. That should hopefully sustain most of our bad water production there. And I think we're going to be in good shape. But now you can see we've got, hopefully, enough clean water coming in here to sustain our aquatic farm. And then, of course, this is for drinking, and then also sustaining the aquatic farm. I don't anticipate we're going to have an issue. We have 11,000 stored up, and we can always add additional water storage if we feel so inclined. This is for extract, which currently... oh, you know, I didn't have this set to obtain. That definitely, and that definitely need to be set to obtain. That's set to supply. That's prioritized. I guess that's going to make the most sense to pop that there. And we can turn the centrifuges back on. And explosives we probably don't need right now because we're not really doing a lot of dynamiting. But when the time comes, we can definitely get those turned back on. So, you might be wondering, now what do we do? Because we have all of this bad water about to come out, and we're going to run into some issues here. Alright, first of all, I have committed sins against Skyrim and her people. Let's hit pause. Man, I need to play that game again, but I really don't have time. This 1, 2, 3, 4 is very obviously not going to be satisfied just coming out this way. And unfortunately... wait, why is this closed? Oh, that's supposed to be closed. I'm dumb. Disregard. This single thing is now closed because this stupid check mark that never should ever be automatically checked is checked. I'm glad we caught that before the bad tide happened. But it is very likely that we will still need to have a second sluice open. Or no, because this doesn't change level down here. I guess that's probably fine. Alright, we'll just keep an eye on this, because I know that was an issue. But it doesn't seem to be creeping high enough for this to become a tremendous problem. We'll see what happens. This is wide enough, theoretically. 2.2 times 2 is 4.4, but there's also no elevation change here, so I don't think it's a problem. I like how this looks with the rungs here. That is a great idea. That is a tremendous, tremendous improvement. So, Remember that we do have our tunnel and our sluice gates and all that over here to shunt all of this bad water that way. So this will just be turned off, and all that remains here will be nice and clean. But this currently is just allowing everything to go off the side of the map, which for right now is fine, because a lot of it is going to be bad water. We got pure bad water coming out of here. We've got going to be bad water coming out of here, and we've got going to be bad water coming out of here. And like I said before, I don't think there's anything else because we capped that. We capped that, and we've capped... Why is this flooding through here? Interesting problem. Oh, did I have manually turned this off? It's this stupid checkbox again. That checkbox should never, ever, 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 ever be on. I feel like I had that turned off and then it got rechecked. So now I'm a little paranoid about this. I'm gonna have to check all of the... Yeah, it turned these back. Okay, well this one is supposed to be turned on, but it turned. I feel like it turned all of these on when I didn't want it to. Okay, this one is still off, so maybe I'm just insane. Yeah, okay, this is fine. That's fine. Why was it just these that were set like that? That's very, very weird. That would be set that way. This basically should never, ever be on. Okay. Alright, that's working. This has splashed slightly, but it does go away quickly. Shouldn't be any problem. This is still sufficient to have it dumped off the side. And yeah, I'm very glad that this works. I didn't doubt that it would, but you know, sometimes things just happen, and you got to deal with it. So we did fix that. These flooded buildings are still only flooded because of good water, so we're okay. But this is a nice reminder that you know, it might be kind of smart to put some more stuff back in here. We'll see. So that being said, let's go ahead and turn our attention to starting to build our castle wall here. And I'm not entirely sure what the best method to do this is going to be. It is worth noting that all of our builders and all of our haulers are bots. So in theory, I caught one that wasn't bots. I caught two that weren't bots. I thought I fixed that, but okay. Now it's actually only bots. So in theory, we can send them down here to start the process of doing this, and that should be pretty simple. I will go ahead, since we are down here, and put terrain blocks, since we just have our super easy to handle channel there for our excess drainage needs. But I think that's probably going to be all we have to worry about, and we will most likely replace these platforms with dams once we have this filtered so only clean water comes through here, and we can maintain a little bit inside. But we have zipline here, zipline here, zipline here. This zipline is the main, quote-unquote, main zipline connecting to all this stuff in the industrial area. I think for right now it's going to make the most sense to just extend that this way and get our bots access over here. This... Oh, hey, this is new. You see that arrow pointing out that way? And then it disappears when it's not in range? That is such a cool change. Or I guess it's trying to find it. So it's yellow because it's out of range of the district center, and it's got the arrow over the zipline thing because it's in range of the zipline thing. So I suppose this will be a viable thing here. Yeah, I'll just pop this here. Should be super simple. There we go, 29 meters. And they can still, you know, come over here and build this. And then we'll just bring them down here this way. And then I guess probably have to bring them up to start construction there. And this is going to be such a long project. You know it's not going to be done today. But if we can at least start the process and then, you know, have our discussion about how much of the inside needs to be left open and where for which purposes, then I think that's going to be smart. Now remember that this one right here is way down low. The bottom of it is at 3. And the top of the terrain currently is sitting at, I guess we can say 13. So that's a whole 10 blocks. And the height that we want the top of the wall to be is 2 blocks above... is it 2? No, it's 1. No, it's 2 blocks. 2 blocks above that. So if this is going to actually be the top of the wall, then the crenellations, I guess, can be 1 block higher than that. And then that leaves us enough room where 2 blocks down... I wish I had my height shore mod. So many mods still haven't been updated, but I also haven't really tried to look for too many of them. So if I mention a mod that I say, I wish this was updated, and you know for a fact that it is, please comment and let me know, because I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I don't spend as much time looking at some of the stuff as I might necessarily want to. But I digress. We want to have a decent height kind of open for our zip lines, and it is fun to have those accessible relatively close to our height limit here, or the top of our thing, and we want there to be a relatively simple process of getting the beavers up to the top from there. I hope this is making sense. I guess to kind of demonstrate what I'm thinking about here. Let's assume that this right here is the top of the wall. I know they can't build this, so we know it's fine for me to be just popping these in here. So we got crenellations there, and then we'd have one block here that you can walk on, and then underneath is where we'd have our tunnel. We've established tunnel for the zip lines. We've established that zip lines can go through a 1 block high tunnel. So if I were to say that this gap right here, remember we got 2, 2, and 2. This gap here is going to end up being, I guess I have to have platforms underneath it before I blast. Maybe we'll have to see. There we go. So that actually does work. If the zip line is going through this little thing here, as long as it's level, then we won't have to worry about blasting it out any lower than that, but we will run into issues when we have the zipline stations in place. So for that to be a thing, we're going to have to figure out what our minimum height distance is going to be, and we are probably going to have to build these into the inside wall. Maybe... no, it'd have to be the outside wall with some sort of a, some sort of a thing. All right, I know this is probably not like the most logical thing for you guys to be looking at, but that's my thought process. It's my thought process, and I get to make the rules. Let's see how much higher I can go here, so I can actually. Okay, yeah, that's our dirt height limit, by the way. The red thing there. Somebody asked what it was, and I didn't know, so there you go. But you can go above the dirt height limit with levees or any other buildings, and that is how much higher you can go with regular levees on top of dirt. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks that I just placed, and I think that's probably the max it's going to let us do. So you wanted to know, now you know. Cool. If you don't know, now you know, so on and so forth. But to just kind of put this in a place where I can actually demonstrate this, we'll leave that alone, and we'll come over here because I have a lot more space. Let's build up a short section of the wall so I can kind of demonstrate what I'm getting at here. Alright, so this, let's pretend, is our gap here. Alright, so that's got to go that way. We still have the ability to come back here and delete these. I know this is not going to be a super high contrast thing to look at, but this is the best way I can possibly think to explain this to you. Alright, so that's not quite high enough, but I will go ahead, for the sake of what we're doing, and just pop this in here. Let's keep this open so I can actually look at it. Alright, let's bring this up one more level. Good website, I missed that website. Now we have, through here, the ability to put zip lines. And for us to be able to get up to the top, we would have to have a little thing here. I guess now that I actually can drag those across gaps, I should put ladders in place. So this would allow us to get up to... is that the correct height? Yes. This would allow us to get up to the top, and then this, like so, would give us the outside wall. This is so hard to see. Oh, geez, come on. It's so hard to see because it's all just this gray whatever. But that would allow us to get this completely hidden with the exception of the ladder. We'll call this crenellations here. And then I did say I was going to do fences everywhere else. So we'll do that, and we'll do our little roofing pieces. So again, that looks pretty cool. Just leave that there. Now, I know this is 6 wide on the top, and we did say that, oh, there's going to be the gap in the middle. But if you want to hide the zip lines, that's how we would do it, and we'd have, you know, the ability to maybe put some other well-being things or whatever you could think of up here, maybe some decorations. But for us to be able to get the rest of this situated properly, again, bear with me, folks. We're learning in real time. Let's check this, if we can actually connect. I'm pretty sure we should be able to. Yes, so that will actually work. Get this through here. So this would be, I'm not going to call it a modular design because we are going to have to just build this individually every time, but that would completely hide the zipline station, give us a nice access with this ladder here that we could then, you know, have our paths go across, and keep that completely hidden out of view, and also give us the ability underneath that to run a bad water aqueduct. Or we could shove this down a few more levels and still have this this ladder set here, but we might have to do some unconventional waterproofing to make that happen. I think this is the best idea for us to be working with here, and keep in mind this is currently what, 6 blocks higher than it has to be because I built on top of the eventual level we're going to be building everything else to. So we know this is going to work, we know it's going to fit, and we measure from the bottom to the top here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, 5 below this. If we take another block, that's 6, and then below that, it'd be 7 down from this height, which would be where our bad water canal could go. So from this height here, we come back over here. Stay with me. Stay with me. We go back over here. This gets us down to 2. Down to this would be 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This level here, which again, I really wish I could have my height labels here. But this is still higher than what we have going on here, and I think if I have measured correctly, which again will count, I think I should be able to come in here with the tunnel because we have the layers peeled back, and I can then bring this out to about here. Again, leave the 2 there, and then just have that, why did that do that? Have that set up like so, and this will create a 1 high, 2 wide canal for our bad water that can be completely concealed inside of our rock area. And it's low enough below this level. Again, this right here, this level would be what shows that. I don't think it should be polluted. Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to experiment, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be wanting to work with. And we come across this way, and that is still technically above what we have going on here. By the time this is blasted out, this level that it reaches when it goes down will be the same as this level here. So I know that seemed like a whole lot, and it definitely was a whole lot, and if I lost you, I'm sorry, but I found myself, and that's what matters. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. Go ahead and get tunnel put out all this way, just in case I forget, which is entirely possible and very likely. And friends, I think this is going to be a fantastic, and I do mean fantastic, addition to what we have going on here. I'm very happy with this. For a little bit of back of the napkin math, so to speak, I think I could be pretty proud of what we've come up with here. So let's come and raise this up. We just need to connect these 4, which we can still do through this if we want. Probably would be the cleanest way to do it. I am going to expand this way, but let's check. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is already 6. Nice. So if that's the case, if we want to keep our same kind of castle wall motif here, we could have like the upper keep up here, and then, you know, you have you know, castles have different types of areas inside of them, and it's not just, oh, well, here's where all the soldiers live. Like, no, a castle in the medieval context was usually, not always, but usually like a microcosm of a city or some sort of area that would combine living quarters, different industrial processes, perhaps a little bit of agriculture, marketplace, and housing for nobility or guests or whatever. So there's a lot of different things that we could incorporate into this to make it a little bit more realistic in that regard. Or we could just say, hey, that's cool, let's do it because it's cool. You know, the rule of cool is a thing, and I'm not afraid to just say, hey, that's neat, and even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, we're going to do it anyway because I think it's cool. Sometimes it's okay to be like that. We'll go ahead and get this laid out and bring it right over here. Try to line this up. Okay, so this is our little bit here. So this is actually this level 10. Oh, I guess I could have looked at that this whole time to determine levels here. But we already figured out what's going on. I'm going to start this with tunnels like this, and then we're going to have space for the stuff to go down here, which will be, I'm assuming, yeah, because I'll put the sluice gates here. This will be open for it to go down. This will be open for it to go down. And then this is the level we're looking at. So let me put my finger here on the screen so I can remember, like I'm a 5-year-old, where I was looking. Okay, so that's fine. That'll go in there. And I think they should be able to build this without too much trouble. We just might have to be careful with pathing as we go about our business here. But I really hope this makes sense. I really hope this makes sense. It's complicated. It's not something I've ever tried before. So it's, you know, this is the way it goes. But I don't think we're going to need this space here, so I will take that away. So what we end up with is this whole thing here going all the way down to here. And again, like I said, there's no water sources over here, so we don't need this side of the map to have that feature. But we do have these sources up here that we can just, you know, shove off the side of the map when it comes to that. So, all of that being said, now we know what we're working with. We have kind of an idea. I'm going to leave this in place because this is going to be a good reference for how we're going to eventually build this out. But outside of that, I think it's about time for us to get the beavers in here and start building. You can see this is where our tunnel will come out. This way they've already blasted this, which is good because now I can just have this go completely away when we get to that point. And we can have all of this just get filled in. I don't know if I should just go ahead and blast this out for the sake of what we're trying to do, but I do know that this middle bit will have to have support, so we do need to build the outside. I know this is a whole lot. I'm kind of like talking a billion miles an hour, and I probably lost a bunch of you already, but it's going to be worth it when we actually have this done. I think it's going to be super fantastic. And if it's not, well, then, you know, you can get a full refund on the purchase price of your YouTube experience, which should be $0 unless you're using premium, in which case, yeah, I can't help you there. But obligatory shout out, YouTube Premium actually does supremely help the creators that you watch. A whole lot more than the ad revenue actually grants. But that's beside the point. Now we can get back into what we're trying to do here. Just, again, bear with me as I'm attempting to do mental math. Or attempting to commit math, as I typically say. This here needs to be put in like so, and that is why I had that outside wall done first, because that can just get suspended in mid-air like so. And then on top of it, for the purposes of what we're doing, we will have to have, oh, come on, have to have this set up like so. Super simple. And then on top of that, we come back over here. I sure hope I've done this correctly. I don't think they can actually reach this yet, but they did put that in. We'll get there. We'll get there. We have to decide where our stations are going to be. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but we should take note of all of this stuff here and probably keep things relatively in the same space. Now we also, if we really wanted to be fancy, which I don't think I want to do, to be perfectly honest with you, throughout the entire thing, we could have put water wheels through this, but I think the idea of having the hidden zipline stations underneath all this is a lot more compelling than having, you know, a whole bunch of water wheel power, because let's be honest, the amount of power we're actually using and the amount of power we're actually needing it's not even close. It's not even close. These windmills are able to handle most of it anyway, so I think we should be okay. So I'm just going to pick an arbitrary point. Again, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to pick an arbitrary point here to put in zipline station, which, remember what we said, is going to be popped in, I guess, just like this. Put in ladders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be what we're looking for. Which gets us to, I really hope, the correct height. Maybe not quite. Did I misjudge? Did I misjudge it? I may have. Because I did say I wanted it to be level with all of this. So I guess we could, give the Badwater Tunnel a little bit more height. Probably would not be a bad choice, but before we do that, let's just make absolutely sure that I haven't made a tremendous mistake here. Oh, hey, that actually lets me pop that in. That's kind of convenient. Of course, we do have to remember to leave these two open here. That has to be blocked in as well. Oh, this is so hard to see. It's so hard to see. That would be opened there. I believe that's fine like that. Then that comes out this way. So that height is still one block too low. Okay. All right. I know it's frustrating. Hopefully by this point you can, you know, appreciate the level of care that I put into this most of the time. Most of the time, and that we can all agree that that is a fun and necessary part of what we're doing here. But I digress. Let's get that put in. Bring this across the way here, and also having that extra level of height, I think, is going to be smart for overflow purposes. All right, now I can pop this in here. Roughly the same place. I think that's where that was going. And then we can build the rest of this. Let me put in the ladder in place. Put in the ladder in place. Very good job. Fantastic. Yeah. These arrows, I'm not even going to, you know, bother putting in any different orientation. They should be able to take care of this no matter what anyway. Gotta check my heights here. Okay, this one gets to stay that way. This one gets to go out like that. Alright, so that is part of our cross section here. And then we have to build up the rest. Alright, like so. Remember, we have this separated here just because that's a drain. That should be totally fine. Let's bring this the rest of the way this way. Rest of the way this way. And I'm not going to blast out the rest of the inside here because I just don't think it's necessary, but I am going to get this filled in as best as we can. Just like so, so we can kind of complete our little mess here. Just go out to this spot. Nice and simple. And don't forget to hide this thing in the walls. Which, honestly, we don't need to have this little bit in the middle hidden at all. That was just a proof of concept for the entrance thing. So I guess we could just leave this open. Make that nice and easy. But I will do the 2 wide here. And then that's that. Crenellations there, 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 there. 1 by 1 roofing piece there, there, there. Fencing there and there. And there you have it. That hopefully, hopefully, is going to end up looking really good. And if I made a mistake on the height, then I will be upset with myself until the end of time. I might have actually made a mistake on the height. Oh, it's so hard to tell. Does X do height as well? No. Alright, well, let's, It's not gonna let me, get away with this, is it? So we'll just have to do, extensions until I can get this to actually line up. No, 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 that was right. That's right. I think. I can just get rid of all of this in a second here. Just bear with me. What'd you do today? Oh, I watched some guy second guess himself for... I don't even know how long this episode's... Oh my god, it's already 41 minutes long. I watched this guy second guess himself with his designs for hours. Like, aren't you going to come to dinner? No, this is serious business happening. But I digress. Turns out this is correct, and we don't have to worry about it, so away... Actually, no, I don't need to make this go away, because we're going to build it anyway. Okay. Now I get to peel this back and remember what I have going on with height here. Okay, this does need to be taken out on this level as well, which actually might make things a tiny bit easier for what we are trying to do here. In fact, I know it will. Alright. This goes that way. It's the reason that I'm so concerned about this is it gets really hard to blast out additional height in tunnels once you remove stuff from the inside. So, hopefully you can understand and appreciate that. That is set there, that's set there, that's set there. I will make this chamber a tiny bit bigger because we can always fill it back in if we don't want to. Okay. This is going to be a tremendously long, tremendously possibly frustrating build cycle for them to take care of all of this. So what is most likely going to happen is, one, we have to get these guys over here, which fortunately we do have pathway access already. Very simple process to make that work. But let's just double check this here. Yeah, I'm going to have this blown out. Although, I'm not going to do it all... Okay, you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I was going to say that we didn't need to worry about that, but that's going to be fine there. Let's just send these guys up with a simple staircase here. And then they'll be able to basically do any amount of this once they have access. See, here they come. They're already getting to work. Hopefully nobody dies in these horrible explosions, but that's the way it's going to go. They should be able to build this, but we're going to run out of dirt pretty quick unless we have a surprise tool that will help us later, which can easily be done if we remove some trees here and put another one of these doohickeys in here. That is the accepted scientific designation, if you were curious. And they'll be able to take this out if I give them a little bit of room here. And then I think that can be the same height. It should be able to. So there'll be 4, there'll be 5 there. I just get the rest of this popped in. Nice and simple like. Into the middle there. Let them build all this mess, and then, you know, we'll get some more dirt out of it, which we definitely will need. Every 2 hours, get 6 pieces of dirt. 6 pieces of dirt, by the way, is what is required to make 1 terrain block. So 2 of these means every hour of game time, we get 1 additional block of dirt to be placed, which the amount of dirt we're about to put in here probably is going to necessitate having, I don't know, 10 of these, but I kind of don't want to do that, so instead, we'll just say, all right, that's the way it goes. We'll just have to wait. But we'll get them to pop this in here. I'll put in this second dirt excavator once those other trees are taken care of, and then we should be able to just have a nice time lapse of watching all of that wall, or at least part of that wall, getting constructed. If I need to raise this up one more level, then I will, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Just got to get these guys in here to take care of that. And now they should, yeah, there they go. Immediately just get all of those trees out of there. So we'll let them take care of that. But it seems like most of your comments on the last episode were relating to stuff that we did with the tunnels, which, oh, by the way, they did manage to finish this. There were a couple people that had comments saying that we had the terrain blocks put around the wrong way, but they did eventually get it done. I was going to fix this, but I ended up, I guess, not needing to. So sorry to those folks. I said we're going to address this, and then, you know, 46 minutes into the video, I finally remember, and then it was already finished. But the problem got solved anyway, so I guess all's well that ends well. Let's go ahead and pop in this dirt excavator. Make sure that is set for bots only, and then we'll put one more level of ladder there. They should be able to get that done. And I think I've got the materials. Oh yeah, I definitely have the materials. Good stuff. Bots are out of fuel, but we have fuel. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh boy, yeah. Don't forget to put fuel over here, folks. Oh yeah. That was my mistake. Go ahead and get that set up. There is biofuel here. There is catalyst here, which I suppose to give them an incentive to get the rest of this, not that incentive to get the rest of this built, I could go ahead and put in some catalyst here as well. So now that this has been hopefully mostly taken care of, we'll go ahead and time-lapse, watch them build at least part of this, and we'll see how far we can get before the end of this bad tide, and then at that point we can reevaluate what we've got going on and see what these guys are going to end up being up to. I do still have to connect the zip lines down here, which I will do. You'll see the camera move around a little bit for that. I'll try not to make it too jarring, but that shouldn't be a terribly complicated process, and we will see what happens after the end of this bad tide, see how much we got done. So, as you can see, this hasn't gone perfectly, but, you know, we've managed to get a lot done. Somehow, this single terrain block has decided it didn't want to get built for whatever reason, and I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix that. I also, you know, trapped this one bot way down in there. Man, I don't know. created a monster with this. I figured it would be pretty self-explanatory for these bots to go in there. I don't know how all of these on top of this got built before this one. I have no idea how that happened. I guess it has something to do with the way that these overhangs work. But you know, this is really gonna be annoying to try and fix. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to blast this down to build it, but oh man, that's gonna be so annoying. That's gonna be so hard to do. So I'm just gonna, you know, leave that alone for a little bit. It appears that we ran out of juice, figuratively and literally, for our reservoir here, but thankfully our reserve reservoir, say that one 5 times fast, kept our aquatic farm going. So that's exactly why that was there. I saw that notification that said the building needs water, and I was like, okay, what could that possibly be? And then I clicked on the well-being tab here, and it said that it was the Lido, so I'm like, okay, we're out of water over there. But that has been an interesting problem for us. This irritates me. I forgot that this wasn't actually connected. So we've been building this entire time with just a single dirt excavator worth of dirt because they couldn't get through to build the rest of this. And that's, you know, that's really frustrating. It really is. But I guess that would explain why this, you know, didn't really go that well. But I've got to figure out a way to get this built. I think probably the only way that I can guarantee this is going to be viable is just to pause every single one of these things. This is going to be so annoying. But we have to build the bottom. We just have to do it. So I guess I gotta blow this up and then put dirt back, which is really annoying. But what else am I gonna do, man? I'm completely out of ideas. I really thought this was gonna go a whole lot faster, but you know, it's sometimes just the way the cookie crumbles. You gotta be able to do stuff. So we'll just have to bring this down a little bit more. I know they can build infinitely down, but they do have to be able to access the block in question. So this is going to be interesting. Maybe it's because the walls are 2 blocks deep, and it's causing issues with the beavers reaching, or I guess bots at this point, are reaching into different areas, which is certainly one of the things of all time that has happened. I guess I just got to blow all this up. And then they'll pop this one in, and then I hope they can reach these bottom pieces. They should be able to at least get this one and this one, but they have put these other walls in. But they also have the ladder in place, so they should be able to reach this guy from the ladder, this guy and this guy, but then this is going to have to get done. And I think they can still reach it once this other thing's put in. Yeah, because this should be like the next one they build. It should be. But we're so low on dirt that it's been a process. Hopefully you did see me put this in. Again, it's a whole thing. We're trial and erroring, if that's even the correct way to say it. We're doing our best. This is not deep enough yet to irrigate our litos, so that's why that's still a thing. We got all these beavers that aren't even really doing much of anything. But I'm very afraid to send them over here as builders or whatever. But what I'm not afraid to do is put in more builders huts for the bots, because, you know, we can have these guys just doing whatever we want them to do. It's not going to be an issue in the slightest. So, you know, just pop these in as bots only. I thought they fixed this in one of the patch things where if it wasn't connected to a thing, then it wasn't a problem. Although I guess that could also be an issue of I don't have this selected, which we'll go ahead and tick. But yeah. Builders huts, builders huts, builders huts. I've got enough room here to do, I guess, depending on how I wanted to set this up. Here, here, and here. There we go. Bot spot. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I fixed this, and it still betrayed me. Okay. Now, we might have a problem. Because those guys were set to go work on the job. And then they may have made a fateful decision. Okay. Okay, this beaver is now unemployed. Where are you going with the logs, bud? Anybody else make it down here? Okay, you're carrying nothing. So, where are you going? You better not. You better not. Okay. So, these stupid idiots. Alright. We have now created a problem that I refuse to believe is my fault. But that's not always how the world works. You can't just say, well, it's not my fault, even if it technically is. So I'm going to pop this guy here, and surprise, surprise, some stupid beavers are going to get sick, so that's the way it goes. Sucks to suck. Make better choices. But, yeah. We're about to get at least a few of these guys in here exposed to the toxic sludge. Unless they were smart enough not to get off. Yeah, they're gonna complete their jobs. They're gonna complete their tasks even though they were not supposed to be. Yeah, and they're... Yep, unwell, you stupid idiots. Absolute buffoons. Okay, so these are done. Which means this should be next. And I think they can get this. If I can just get these bottom pieces put in, I think we'll be in a better shape. I really did not think this was going to be that big of a problem, but I guess it was. Okay, well. At any rate, I know I can put all of this in now that that's taken care of. We'll just have to babysit this, which is a huge shame. 26 flooded buildings. Holy... How? Did this thing do this to me again? No, it's open. Okay, okay. This has quickly become a very frustrating episode. God, what a pain in the butt. Yeah, man. Why? Why? So this needs to be wider. That needs to be wider, which means we are going to have to come down here and... Oh, hey, stupid idiot number 18,000 is going to be freed. We'll make this wider, I guess. 4, 6. Why not? Why not? Come on down and blow up your tunnels. I think the ladder is what caused these guys to get stuck in the first place, because they could just kind of, you know, make their way downtown, so to speak. But that, man, this is massively frustrating. And it just keeps coming in. All right. Put this terrain block in. That'll stop this madness, at least a little bit. Come on now. I know you've got dirt. I know you got it. I know you got it. So get over here and build it. Now all these builders are flooded, so I might only have like 5 builders. Oh, that wouldn't be a correct number. It'd be 6 or 8 or something. Yeah. Oh, I've got some up here. All right. Where is my dirt? Where is my dirt? Bring me my dirt. Build the terrain. Let's go. we got so many stupid problems we have to fix. But I guess that's the price you pay for greatness. Sometimes stupidity just comes standard. Although I cannot for the life of me figure out how they have not even brought a single iota of dirt over here. I know the rest of this wasn't prioritized. This is why I wish Timberborn had a queue for the builders, so I could see what's going to be next. So I have absolutely no idea. Come on, there's thousands of people watching this. Pick up the pace. Don't embarrass me. Or do, I'm not your dad. I guess technically I am the beaver's dad. Wait till your father gets home. Come on, man. Just what else could possibly be in front of this? It's maximum priority. If I open the priority thing, oh, okay. It's these things. I guess I can't be upset. I did say these were priority, and it is very important that those get exploded, but you know, just lower the priority on these and have them come over here. Did not think it was going to be this complicated to get this done. Alright, now there's no excuse. There you go. There you go. Bring the dirt. Finish it up. Good job. Hopefully that stops that problem from being a problem and all this water can just kind of flow off this side, but that is a tremendous disappointment. Alright, well, are they at least, you know, making progress with this? They should be just about done. Okay, there we go. More pieces going in. What else? They're putting that up. They got more of this mess to pop in. That terrain block is being built. Are they going to do this one next? No, it is too far and cannot be built because the zipline station is in the way. Okay. Well, if I'm careful how I manage this, it might actually be okay. I mean, they can build from inside here, which is a very nice thing, but I might have to... Oh, jeez. I guess I just have to peel this back layer by layer. Yeah, I'm going to have to pause, I guess, just this row here of terrain blocks so that they can build the outside up first. Although at this point, it probably doesn't matter because they already have all this other stuff to mess with anyway. Alright, that's filling up nicely. This is filling up about as well as you could expect. These are actually working, which is tremendous, even if it is a little slow. I guess I probably should put in a storage for dirt here. Set that to supply. That might make it a little bit quicker. Okay, the rest of this is doing alright. If we have a drought coming up, we could run into power issues because we still don't have enough windmills put in place. But I think we're probably okay. I'm going to turn this herbalist off because we don't need to have anybody in there. Even though we have this huge surplus, we have 40 antidote and... hold on, wrong window. I have the stack of it already ready to go. And it hopefully is just this one idiot that decided to take a bath in poison. Let's see. Bad water pumping is still kind of unable to keep up. So I suppose, in the interest of, you know, actually getting more of this done, I might as well go ahead and have a couple more of these guys popped in here. So we'll just make that a priority, bring this down, and we'll get ready to pop in a couple more of these bad water pumps. 3 of them to be exact. And I still have more beavers bots, whatever I can put in as builders. I guess it really shouldn't be that big of a deal, but, you know, might as well use all the manpower, bot power, rocket power, whatever that you have access to. Okay, so they definitely did not fix that bit that I was talking about earlier. And just put this in here, why not? Okay, that's correct, that's not correct. Alright, so that should take care of all of the extra bots we have at this exact moment, which will be an improvement. This is ready to get exploded. 3 more bad water pumps. Those are marked for bots, which is perfect. We're going to have more of these coming in. Not really keeping up very well with punch cards, but I'm not too concerned about those. I'm much more concerned about are we storing enough water for these beavers to survive and keep everything irrigated. We probably don't need to have both of these large water pumps going, so I will pause that one. We have completely full storage. But I do want to have this get a little bit more in there. We're going to have some more water storage, and I don't really have any better place to put it, to be perfectly honest with you, so... Yep, got a drought coming. Okay. So it's going to be in our best interest to have this stuff actually finished. We got enough builders, I don't think we're going to have to prioritize any of this. Just get this put in, and I guess for that reason I will turn that back on, just so this can get filled up a little bit easier. And hopefully... No, that guy just broke down. Unfortunate. Yeah. It's just one of those things that takes time. The good news, though, is that this seems to be slightly getting better, I guess. We can help out by extending our... oh, I can't even see. I gotta retract this. We can extend our pathing this way so they can have... Oh, that's actually... Did I do a stupid here? No. I thought that I might have. Okay. Let's put that in. Because they can easily build from inside this if things are prioritized correctly. And you saw me put these scaffolding things in. It's just, you know, one of those things that is just gonna happen. I thought I had enclosed this. Did I? I guess I must have missed that. Okay, well. we can leave this open for right now because that does have decent connectivity here. Get that hooked in. I guess that's probably okay. Yeah, that's all right. But the rest of this is going to be that's going to be something. Can I put in here and here? Is this going to let me, or am I only going to be able to do it on the top? Okay, I'm only going to be able to do it on the top, but this will let me get across this way, and they'll be at least able to build from the side of the bridge unless there is terrain in the way. Which, for that to work... See, this is so complicated. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm not like that sorry, but I'm definitely a little sorry. I'll try to get this ladder popped in here. Let them build up below this little overhang. I think that's probably where a lot of the problems came from. But I digress. You know how it goes. You seen these videos. You know what I'm about. But now we can just encourage them to build these bits first. And then just keep on going up. I'm not going to get these idiots stuck inside. That's going to cause all sorts of problems. Oh, maybe I actually should. Okay, because this here is not going to play nice. I'm going to have to babysit this. Who would let me do this way, right? That's you know what I'm saying? The answer is me. But man, what a fundamentally frustrating formative experience building this kind of stuff this has been. But I do still think this is a really cool thing to be doing. It's just, unfortunately, a little bit of a complicated mess. I do think we have solved this problem, though. Assuming that we're actually not completely stupid. I need them to build behind this, which they should be able to if I can actually select stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be able to behind here without peeling layers back. Yeah, because I want that to be built next. Well, it's not that I want it to be built next, it's that I need it to be built next. There we go, then get that taken care of. That problem has been solved. Now I need this to be built next, which I'm pretty sure they can still do. And then hopefully once that one's taken care of, we can get above it. But I will have to put in these two guys here, and then I'll have to put another layer of ladders in, so on and so forth, and that should, being the operative term, take care of most of that for us. Alright, contaminated beaver. Yeah, you take your antidote. Get your uncontaminated. You know, you look a little bit insane there, bud. I hope this works. Hey, I told you that we're going to be mostly complete on this before the end of this episode, and you stayed on the video. So at this point, we are at least slightly unequal partners in crime. Go ahead and get these two things here. Let them continue going up, and just let it be what it's going to be. The good news, though, is that they can absolutely continue building this. We'll keep monitoring it, and then when the time comes, we will, of course, have to end the episode. But I feel like today has gone, I mean, outside of the whole I need to learn how terrain works again because apparently it's impossible for me to understand. I feel like this has gone mostly well, and we can be pretty happy with it. So I appreciate you guys being here, appreciate all the support on this series. It has been a tremendous amount of fun learning all the new stuff in Update 7 and maybe getting a little blindsided along the way by how some of the new changes have interacted with the map. But I'm still very happy with what we've been able to do, and I'm very excited to see how the rest of this map is going to look as we continue closing things in and making our castle walls. So, you know, Beard Boosters, always have to say thank you to those folks contributing directly to the channel and my well-being at this point, and making it possible to keep pumping out beaver videos every day and other stuff coming soon as well. But actually, because now the Apocalypse mode season's over, I've got 2 days worth of video slots back, and we'll see what we're able to do with those. But I'm gonna go ahead for the rest of this after the credits are done. I'm gonna go ahead and start time-lapsing a little bit more of this construction. And then we will go ahead and say goodbye right now, but you guys can enjoy a little bit of the quick spot, and we'll get that all situated a little bit more in the next episode. That's all I got. Have fun, stay safe, and we will see you back again very soon in this series, and then tomorrow, something completely different. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.